you're in such a state of mind of feeling bad about yourself, not feeling enough, that you want to feel better. You want to, and you keep insisting and having arguments about what he should be doing and how he should be showing up, and you're not getting anywhere. So yeah, having a lover kind of did occur to me, but I thought, no, I mean, too complicated. And so I looked outside, and to me that looked like, again, I was looking outside, but elsewhere. It was more to do with work and how I could train and educate myself in what, my interest was, and how I could feel more fulfilled in the area. So I was doing that. And I did it. I got very busy again, but out there. And it was good because obviously I did follow what I felt I wanted to do. So it was all about self-development. And then I trained in homeopathy, and I had a busy practice for 15 years. So I was quite successful. I was a cookery teacher for 6 years before becoming a homeopath. And it was all good stuff. And it gave me some satisfaction, and I felt better about myself. But it wasn't enough. And I didn't know why. But at least I took some pressure off Michael. It wasn't just, it didn't have to come from him. It could come from somewhere else. And I got very busy, and, and felt better. And I had a sense that there was something more to me than just than this tension. Inner tension. There was something more peaceful about me, more rich, more, but with more potential for peace of mind. But I didn't know what it was. And then again, life happened. Many things happened. And again, sometimes I would feel absolutely happy, but I thought it was random. I thought they were just coming, or someone did say something nice to me, or my kids did well at school, and I would say, oh, I feel great. I'm a good mom. Oh, I feel, again, didn't make a connection with how I was using my mind. Okay. And I had a sense of a bigger me, a bigger side, deeper side to life. I did. And in my spiritual kind of journey, I came across several things that made me explore that. But there was something missing, and I didn't know what it was, because it didn't sustain. I remember going to relationship weekends with Michael, and like maybe for a week or 10 days we would feel really good, and I would come home with all good intentions of meeting his needs and making him feel valued and him making me feel desirable and all that, but bloody yes, it was hard work, and it felt synthetic. I don't know if this is the right word, but it wasn't, and of course it didn't sustain. And I didn't know why. I thought there was something wrong with us, with me, more than with him. What's wrong with me? This is a good man. This is a good dad. And then, yes, and then, like all of you on this call, I think, but not all people who will listen to this, I came across something that explained a very simple thing that I overlooked and I didn't appreciate all those years of what at times felt like torture. I, I have to really be honest, it was such hard work. And I don't know how we stayed together, really looking back. I don't know how that happened, but we did. And I'm glad we did. And so what I came across was just a very simple understanding of how I'd been using my mind, how we use our mind as human beings. And it was an explanation that nobody's ever given me. Not so simple and strict. You know, there was always some other extra attached to it that needed to be done in order to feel a certain way. This one didn't have anything on top. But not only that, I had my first realization of how beyond all the stories and the noise and the thinking and everything that was going on in my mind, especially during those difficult years, beyond that, there was nothing to fix about me. And I had infinite, like a well of potential for peace of mind and connection, and a well of potential for deep, true, beautiful connection with my husband, not only with him, but with life, with myself, with life, with my children. Because that's how we are. Beyond all the confusion and the noise and the fears and everything that we think we are sentenced to live within, there is this other thing going on, which I felt sometimes, but of course I never really quite embraced and acknowledged and owned and embodied. I thought it was just random or to do with something outside in the world happening, you know, around me. So I had the first realization, and it's a mystery how we get to realize that sometimes and touch that space and think, oh my God, it's true for me as well. I'm not an exception, and it's true for everyone else. It's true for Mikey. It's true for my kids who are often worried about so much or worried sick about them. It's true for them too. So we all have it equally. How beautiful is that, to realize that? So I did that. So here's what happened. I thought that there were, you know, in life, in a relationship, there are all sorts of different boxes with all sorts of different problems. And we need to, in a good relationship, you want to kind of mutually agree to look into each box and kind of look what it's in there and analyze it together and come up with a way of dealing with that problem after you've analyzed it. Usually needs a lot of talking and a lot of listening that he wasn't doing, and the boxes keep growing in numbers, and there's always another box. There's always another issue that needs to be discussed, and another, you know, problem needs to be solved. And suddenly all these boxes were not there. Suddenly there was just this one thing that said, there's only a couple of things happening between a man and a woman, or two partners, a man and a man, a girl and a woman and a woman. There's only, it seems like there's loads of stuff, but actually there's only one thing, and then there is another thing, and there is another, three things I would say. But let's look at one. So it simplified everything, okay, understanding this. And one said that with someone in any kind of relationship, that is the thinking we have about them, or their behaviors and what they do, and which gives us an experience of them. And then there is what's happening in this world of form and in this dynamic with them. But actually, there is only one thing happening between you and that person, and it's all the ideas, the stories, the thinking, the labels that you've given to that person and to your relationship. There is that going on 24/7. And unless you see that, you just want to go out there into all those different boxes and tackle each issue and analyze each issue, because it looks like they're all different. So there's only ever one problem. Well, and it's not seeing that whatever you're experiencing with a person comes from all these ideas we have about them. Because I don't know if it happens to you, but you know, when you meet someone, you kind of, whether you know them, you've known them for 20 years, or whether you've known them for a week, or whether you've known them all your life, we kind of make up our mind about who they are. And we think we know them. We think we've worked them out. Oh, I know you. I know what you're about. And I didn't know that I was doing that with my husband, with anyone else. That was such an amazing thing to wake up to, that I had made up my mind about him and I thought I knew him. And so, of course, when you're in any interaction in life, you already kind of, you know what he's going to say, how he's going to react, or, you know, there is no space for anything else that is not, doesn't fall within that box. You put them in, and you put your relationship in that box. So, and then we're surprised that there's nothing fresh coming out, because we just live within the limitation of the ideas we have about anything, if we don't know that there are ideas and they're not the truth. And we kind of restrict the space for anything to come in that is fresh, is new. Oh my God, I didn't know about that about you. So that is what basically happened between myself and Mikey. And I wasn't aware of it at the beginning. And because I wasn't even trying to improve my relationship, because I kind of, in some way, had given up. So I like the fact that I wasn't trying, because it speaks about how this happens when we're not even looking at something. We're not trying, we're not, then the awareness and the truth about how our mind works and how we get to have an experience about everything through the power of thought kind of creeps in and filters in. And it happened. And suddenly I started to question things that I thought were true about him and about us as a couple.